Hello, Brian Schwatka here, Realtor and Transition Specialist, and in this presentation you'll learn how the areas of your finances, health, family, trust, and real estate are all interconnected and why you need a comprehensive approach to your real estate transaction. Hello, thanks for joining. This is Brian Schwatka. I've been a realtor since 2004, located here in Los Gatos, California. I work with homeowners of all ages, but I love my seniors. So I'm a seniors real estate specialist, a certified seniors advisor, and a certified probate real estate specialist, and sort of a self-proclaimed transition specialist. So why do I work with retirees? Well, I work with retirees because transitions and transactions, they're more important at this age, okay? It might be one of our last transitions, and so if we make a financial mistake when we're younger, we can kind of recuperate from that, but this last transition is usually the most important. There's just too many people, too many choices. The internet is very time consuming, it's very frustrating, and predators really take advantage of of seniors, retirees, of their inexperience of what they're maybe going through. They haven't done that in a long time. And then I find that homeowners, they're concerned and they get overwhelmed, so they get this paralysis of analysis. So I try and help them through that. So the way I help my retirees is that I don't sell, I educate. I'm a resource, I'm an advocate, I'm someone that they can trust. I try and reduce their anxieties, their stresses, their fears, make educated decisions, whether they're staying or whether they're going. I want them to focus on their house as their biggest investment. Okay, and so we also trying to help my retirees reduce their expenses, increase their cash flow, reduce their taxes, retain as much profit as possible when they are selling, get their personal estates in order to save them hundreds of thousands of dollars should anything happen. Help them right-size their lives and their belongings. I want them to be proactive, not reactive. Make things happen. Don't just wait for things to happen. I want to save them time, money, frustration. I want to give them clarity, certainty, and confidence. I want to create a personalized plan for their future, and all of this is with no expectations, no strings attached. I'm just here to help. Those are my goals. And so the goal for today's presentation, really what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the different types of homeowners. We're going to talk about this comprehensive way of looking at real estate. We're going to get a current snapshot of your home ownership. I want to help you do that so that you can evaluate where you currently stand. Help you also imagine your vision of the future. Talk about a couple of hot topics to get you started. Okay, we're going to talk about the homeowner flight plan, and then we're going to talk about how do you decide when is the right time to make a transition. Okay, so the different types of homeowners in the different camps. Okay, there's the homeowners that they do want to stay, which is fine. I mean, a lot of people want to stay. Yeah, the people that are staying in this area, probably in the high 90%, want to stay in their homes. But my question back to them is, can you stay and should you stay? So we'll talk a little bit about that. And then in the middle, the bigger in the middle, is people who are trying to decide if they should make this transition or not. So they might want to go, or actually in some cases they might need to go. Then they want to know, where would I go? And then how would I go? So that's the big middle section. And there's the other people, homeowners that definitely do want to go. And so we'll talk a little bit about that as well, because studies say right now about 47% of the people in California want to leave California. So anyway, those are the three different types of homeowners. Either I want to stay, I'm somewhere in the middle, I'm not sure if, where, or how I should go, and then the ones that definitely want to go. Okay, so I've put a website together. It goes with this whole Stair Go Homeowner system. It's stairgohomeowner.com. It asks the question, is it time to cash out? And then it asks, which homeowner are you? You might want to make a transition, but you're not quite sure. Where would I go? And then how do I get the biggest bang for my buck? So it's right there on the website. Very easy website to use. Lots of videos and things you can do on the website, free of charge, no expectations. So I've recently been hearing this word holistic, and the typical definition that you hear now, holistic, you might want to think of meditation or eating right or organic or meditation or, that ooey gooey kind of thing. That's not holistic. Okay. Holistic, if you want to remember the word whole, W-H-O-L-E, it's whole, it's an adjective. It's relating to holism. It's characterized by the comprehension of the parts of something as intimately interconnected and explicable only by reference to the whole. Okay. And so a holistic approach to real estate would look like this, where you have the seller and everything around the seller. So you have their finances, their health, all of their personal issues, their trust and their estate, and their real estate. So my point of this presentation is to let you know how important it is to take all of these things into consideration when you're deciding whether you should stay, whether you should go, what your next move is, okay? So this is a holistic approach to real estate. Now, in the Stair Go Homeowner class, it's a system, and it helps homeowners decide if they should stay in their homes or make a transition. The first part of that is evaluating where you currently stand. Okay, so first we evaluate and then we educate in the areas of, remember those holistic areas, the financial, health, personal, taxes or trust and estate, and your real estate. So as far as evaluating where you stand, there's a lot of things to think about when you drill down in to each of those categories. When you're looking at your finances, you have to think about your cash flow, whether you're negative, neutral, or positive on a monthly basis. Then we want to talk about your net worth and also your investments, your life insurance, your mortgage. Maybe you have a home equity line of credit or a reverse mortgage or something, or a regular mortgage. What's the balance on that, if any? Then we have to talk about your capital gains taxes that you may owe when you sell anything like stocks or a home or your investment properties, things like that. And then we're doing all of this so that we can get to the point that we can talk to a financial planner so that the financial planner can put together a financial plan for our future that shows that we're not going to outlive our money. All of these things play into that, even the inheritances or beneficiaries of something that might happen in the future. Then we go to the second category, which is your health. Are you staying healthy? Are you social and active? How's your emotional well-being? Are you mobile? Are you incapacitated? Are you thinking that there may be an issue in the future? Maybe one homeowner is and one homeowner isn't. Do you have health insurance or long-term care insurance? Has a co-owner passed away, or did you have, or maybe their health may be an issue in the near future? And as far as health goes, have you thought about in-home care? The next category is all of your personal stuff. So you've got maybe kids, grandkids, maybe you have siblings or relatives. Do you want to be near them? Do they need your help? Do you need their help? Will you have support and safety in your home, as in like in-home care? Is it safe? Have you had, have you thought about home safety so that you can age in place? Personal-wise, you're going to need a vision of the future of where you're actually going, and we're going to talk about that. And then the vicinity or relocating. Are you thinking about going out of the area? Have any of your kids or siblings or anybody moved out of the area and you may want to follow them? And then there's also the thought of being at a retirement community, whether that's independent or assisted or skilled nursing or memory care. So on your trust and estate, do you have a will or a living trust? Do you have a power of attorney in place? A healthcare directive in place? Have you been divorced or you're on your second marriage? That plays into how the trust is written. Are you holding title correctly in case someone passes and you're going to get a full step up in basis or a half step up, or will you go to probate? And who are the trustees, the successor trustees and the beneficiaries? And then lastly comes the real estate. So are you doing maintenance and repairs? Do you enjoy doing those? Will you need to kind of step away from those things? Have you upgraded your home for safety? Are you thinking about aging in place? Do you have investment properties that maybe you might want to liquidate or actually move to? Have you thought about downsizing? Home preparation, getting your home ready to go on the market, and packing and moving. So those are all of the areas or the categories, when you drill down into each category of all the things you need to take into consideration when you're making this important decision and you're trying to figure out, can I do this or not? Does it make sense or not? Okay. So just a quick disclaimer, as you know, I'm a realtor. I'm not a CPA or a tax person or an estate planner or a financial planner or any of those. So we're only talking about general principles. We're not talking about very specific. I'm not recommending or advising you to do anything. I'm just getting you thinking and getting you prepared, okay? So if you have more detailed questions than I'm going to cover in this presentation, you should seek independent advice for any of those issues that are not real estate related, okay? So let's go back into talking about where we stand in the areas of finance, health, personal, estate, and real estate, okay? Now, when we're evaluating this, we're evaluating where we stand in each of those areas. Now, you might be strong in some areas and weak in some other areas. So if I was to put a grid line and we were to evaluate where we stood in these areas on a scale of either 1 to 3 or 1 to 5, where you currently stand, you'd be strong in some areas, maybe weak in some other areas. And then you would then draw a line to try and get a nice round wheel. But some of us may be weak in certain areas and strong in some certain other areas, and you'll see where you need to work. So some of us may look like this. Some of us may look like this. It's a personal case-by-case basis. So when I teach the class, I teach it a very generic way that appeals to everybody. But then we need to drill down into seeing where you stand so we can try and fix that and hopefully get a more well-rounded, holistic view of our real estate. So evaluating where we stand, finances, health, personal, estate, real estate. Let's talk about evaluating our financial position, okay? Now, you can stop the video at any time and you can answer these questions for yourself. And I'm going to just ask you the questions. It's either no, it's maybe, or it's yes. And you're looking for the most yeses possible. That's going to give you a real good score. And the no's are little red flags. When you get to the end of the section, you're going to give yourself a personal evaluation from 1 to 5. Just let you, where do you stand in those areas? So feel free to stop the video if you'd like, but I'm just going to go through these real briefly and tell you what they are. So the first one is for your financial position. I know exactly what my monthly expenses are. I know exactly what my monthly income is. I am cash flow positive every month. I have an adequate net worth that will help me in retirement. I can financially maintain the condition of my home. I have a formal written financial plan that spells out my future. I can afford to pay for skilled nursing or in-home care at about $6,000 to $12,000 a month. That's cheap. It's good. It's a lot more than that, but answer it if you can. Okay, and then I have long-term care insurance. So answer yes, no, or maybe to those. Give yourself a self-evaluation from 1 to 5. And let's move on to our physical health position. So here we go. I am in good health for someone my age. My health will stay relatively the same for the next 5 to 10 years. Super important when you're thinking about going to a retirement community. They're going to want to know that. I drive myself wherever I need to go, and I enjoy driving. I still enjoy cooking, and I eat a nutritious diet. I keep my mind and body active. I can relocate to any area without any ties to my doctor. Now give yourself a evaluation on a scale of 1 to 5 for your physical and well-being. Now we're going to evaluate our social and emotional position. So my social life is active and I get out with friends and family. I have local people who will help and support me. Someone lives with me, either a roommate or I'm married. My immediate family lives near me. My family thinks I should make a transition. I'm happy with my current living situation. I can relocate without ties to my friends, groups, or hobbies. Give yourself a evaluation there. And then now we're going to evaluate your estate and legal position. Feel free to pause whenever you want. So first question, I have a trust in place. I have reviewed my trust in the past 5 years. I know how the title is held to my home. I know what to do when a co-owner passes away. I have a healthcare directive or a living will in place. I have a power of attorney for property in place. Give yourself an evaluation on that, 1 to 5. Lastly, evaluating your real estate, and this is functionally, okay? So, my home is safe and has a downstairs bedroom and a full bath. My home's in good condition. I enjoy maintaining the condition of my home. My home suits my lifestyle today, its size and its function. My home has been remodeled and I love it. My home is in a safe and friendly neighborhood. So give yourself a scale on a scale of 1 to 5, answers to those questions, and then you can kind of see where you're strong and where you're weak, okay? All right, now let's keep going on this Stair Go Homeowner. It's called a framework. So we've evaluated where we stand in these areas, and we know where we're weak and we're strong. And now what it's time to do is pretty much evaluate or think about where you're actually going in these areas. So I read a book. It's called The Joy of Strategy, A Business Plan for Your Life. And that was written by Allison Rim. It's a great book. Kind of changed the way I teach the class and the way I look at life is where are we going? So we usually have a business plan for our business that talks about cash flow and vision and culture and, mission statement and all the things of where that business is going, but we don't have a business plan for our life of where we're going. So what I try and do is I help my students think about this when they're doing their self-evaluation, okay? And so I have them answer these questions. What are some of my peak experiences? Because those are the things that really get you going. They're things that you've done in the past that you've enjoyed, and we want to keep doing things like that. Answer all the questions like, when am I at my best? What happens when I'm really feeling good? What do I want more of? When am I at my worst? What don't I want? What do I want to eliminate from my life to make my life more joyful? And then if you didn't have to worry about family or money or people or jobs or bills or houses or cars or health, and you had zero responsibilities whatsoever, how would you spend your time? And what we need to do is we need to put this vision or this thing in your mind. And what we're going to do is we're going to write a postcard from the future written in present tense from yourself, talking to your current self, and you're telling yourself from the future, hey, here's where I'm at. Here's what it looks like, and here's what it sounds like, and here's what it feels like, and here's what I do every day, and here's who I'm with and who I live near. And what do I do to make sure that my day is joyful every day? And so what I want you to do is at least get started. It took me a couple of months to write this postcard from the future. But once you have this postcard from the future in place, you can just start it. Just put some bullet points down of where you want to go, what does it look like, feel like, describe your perfect life. And then when decisions come up and you need to make a choice, and there's choice A and there's choice B, choice A might make sense today, because you don't have a postcard from the future and it just makes sense, so I'm going to make that choice. But if you do have the postcard from the future, maybe your choice might be choice B, might not make sense today, but in the long run, it's kind of heading in that direction. It's going towards your perfect future. So why not have a clear vision of what your perfect life looks like, and then we work backwards from that to make sure we get you there. Okay, so this is going to get you thinking. Grab a glass of wine. Hopefully, if you're with a mate, that your stories kind of match, but maybe you can compromise. But it's a really good thing to get a clear picture of where you're going. Like a flight plan. When you make a flight plan, you need a destination. So let's get started on that. Okay, so in the whole Stair Go Homeowner system, there are classes, workshops, consultations, videos that you can attend or watch or meet with. And the first one is this Stair Go Homeowner, the core class. It's about a 4 to 6 hour workshop. We talk about that whole holistic education, and we talk about quite a few things in there. What we talk about is capital gains taxes, holding title correctly, when co-owners pass away, what do you do, avoiding probate, negative cash flow issues, reverse mortgages, investment properties, home safety services, in-home care services, retirement living options, relocating to different areas, retirement communities, downsizing, real estate 101, home preparation, return on investment, selling it or renting it. Should you do it for a cash out or cash flow? Selling a home as is, creative buying options, tons of things that we talk about in that class so you can make this educated decision. Okay. And at the end of that, like I said, the class, the videos, everything is very generic. So it applies to everybody in the class. But at the end of the class or the video or the consultation, it might be time to have what's called a homeowner analysis. The homeowner analysis takes about an hour. What we do is we meet, whether it's on the phone or on the computer or in person, and we discuss specifics like who are the players in the family dynamics, what's your history of home ownership, how you're holding title, the condition of the home, the compatibility of the home, your financial situation, whether you're positive, negative, or neutral, your physical, social, emotional well-being, your vision of the future. I spell out multiple options for you, and I give you my non-biased educated opinion. And what that's doing is preparing you to meet with a financial planner. So I'll give you a CMA, what your home is worth, capital gains, what you would make if you sold, taking into consideration the capital gains you might have to pay, what your net proceeds would be. Talk about your major debt and your net worth, and then you take that information and you go to a financial planner, and the financial planner analyzes all of that information. They're going to need all of that. And so I'm prepping you for that meeting. And the meeting is for the financial planner to analyze all of that to make sure that this next transition is possible, viable. It's going to make sure that you don't run out of money. I don't want you to outlive your funds. So once we know that, now we need to know where you're going, right? So we have the 2-hour workshop, which is the Stair Go Where workshop. And in that workshop, what we talk about are your 3 options. You can either do a new local home. So we want to find out what you get for the money in the area. You want to downsize, smaller home, something you don't need to fix up, something that matches your current lifestyle. Or your Stair Go Where option might be a retirement living community. So you might be active independent community like the Villages or Rossmore or Del Webb up in Lincoln. Or it might be a continuing care retirement community, which is a CCRC, and we'll talk about the myths of retirement living, the costs, the rules, the perceptions, things like that. And then the third option might be actually to relocate out of the area, and we're going to take into consideration the weather, healthcare, transportation, culture, the cost of living. I want to make sure that we get you somewhere that's plus or minus 10% of what it's like here in Silicon Valley, which is very difficult to do, but I know of areas that match this search criteria, and I can show them to you, and I can introduce you to a realtor in those areas. Okay, the third one is if you're really ready to go, you've decided that you should go, you've decided where you're going to go. Now we do the Ready, Set, Go workshop, which is more about home preparation, all the things you need to do, all the homework and projects you need to do to get your home ready to go on the market. And then what we'll do is we'll create what's called a flight plan. Okay. Now a flight plan is like a real flight plan. You need to decide on the destination. We need to know where your next home is. What did your financial planner say? That's how much fuel do we have? How far can we go? Then are we talking about a smaller home, retirement community, or relocation? Are we talking about buying first or selling first? And then in a flight plan, you need a co-pilot. That's your realtor or your transition specialist. And then your current home is your current plane, let's call it, okay? So we need to inspect and disclose all of the information about your current plane that you're going to be selling, okay? And the goal is obviously to sell the home as is. So we want to prepare for liftoff. We'll do that home preparation, and I'll tell you everything you need to know when we're creating the flight plan and executing on that flight plan. Then we have some, in-flight expectations and accommodations. That's the deal. That's the purchase agreement. That's selling the home. And then we have the destination, right? The arrival, fully prepared. So we'll create that flight plan. So as a whole, you'll see it where I'm starting out as your instructor, so I'm teaching you how to evaluate and I'm educating you on all these areas. Then I turn into your co-pilot, so we're analyzing our flight, and then I'm air traffic control, making sure you get there. Okay, that's in a big picture. So a lot of people ask me, when is the best time to depart? When's the best time to leave, to make a transition? Is it, before your health declines? That's important, especially if you're going to a retirement community where they want you to come in healthy. When is the best time to leave? Maybe it's before a co-owner passes. Maybe it's before you go crazy from boredom in the same house. Maybe it's when you're tired of cooking and cleaning. Maybe it's before you call the darn handyman again. So I don't know what it is for you, but when someone asks me when's the best time to make a transition, the best time to make a transition is when it's financially makes the best sense for you, okay? So you've always heard we're supposed to buy low and sell high, okay? So the best time to sell is at the top of a market. Okay. Now, no one's going to time that exactly right. You're never going to pick the day that your home was worth the absolute most. But within a 1-year period, if you know that this is about the time and things are starting to change, that might be the perfect time to make a transition. It's definitely not the best time to make a transition when things are going down. They've already gone down to the very bottom, because you've lost a lot of money in that situation or in that scenario. Let me show you an example. Real estate markets change about every 10 years. It ebbs and flows. So it goes up and it goes down about every 10 years. I've looked back into the past. All of the statistics say the same thing. So from 2008 to 2009, the real estate market in Los Gatos and Saratoga went down by 20%. So that was a price drop of about $367,000. Now fast forward to 2019, where the average sales price is $2.8 million. A 10% drop would be $280,000. A 20% drop would be $560,000. That's pretty significant. So waiting too long could cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars in this valley. And when things go bad pretty fast. So if you need a home quote, you want to know how much your home is worth today, and I'll even tell you what it was worth last year, so you can see if there's a trend. Is it going down, or is it staying the same, or is it going up? You can go to stairgohomeowner.com/home-quote, fill in that information, and I'll give you the exact right number of what your home is worth in today's market. And I won't be giving you some pie in the sky number to get you all excited to see, oh, maybe you'll sell your home or something, because I want you to make good decisions and you need to accurate numbers. So don't go to Zillow or Trulia or wherever it is to get some random price, or go to some realtor who wants to get you excited to sell your home. Ask me what your home is worth and I'll give you the honest truth. Also, on the webpage, you'll see a thing where at the top, a tab that says schedule a consultation. If you want to do a homeowner analysis, then we can talk over the phone. You can fill out a questionnaire online, or we can do it in person. It's totally up to you. No strings attached, no cost involved, and that'll give you all of your options. So in a nutshell, I know this is a huge decision, and it could be your last transition. So it's that much more important, okay? My goal is for you to create a vision of the future for yourself, to know where you're going and work backwards from that. You deserve it. So think about where you want to be, and let's make a plan to get you there. I want you to explore all of your options. I want you to discuss it with your family, your friends, professionals. I want to give you that information and they give you that analysis so that you can have a succinct message when you talk to these people, and you can say, which one of these 5 things do you think I should do? I want to give you that clarity, certainty, confidence. I want you to save time, money, and frustration. I'm behind you 150%, whether you stay or whether you go. I want you to be happy, healthy, financially secure, and most of all, I don't want you to outlive your money. And I want you to think of this in a holistic way. Remember, the word holistic means about everything combined. It's not that ooey gooey stuff. It's let's make our real estate transaction the most intelligent, educated, and prepared one we can possibly do. Okay? So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, requests, you can get a hold of me at the website, stairgohomeowner.com. Lots of free stuff there, lots of videos. Ask me how much your house is worth. Schedule a consultation, tons of stuff there for you. Wish the best for you, and hope to hear from you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.